think we'll be smart with some of these guys. And look, I'm excited, right? Because I think we've got some young players maybe that are going to have bigger roles in the game, and they've got a chance to play well and create momentum for their future. And I think it'll be good experience for them going into the offseason. So, yeah, I mean, I think there is a little bit of that. Some of these guys that are playing their last game paired with some young talent that'll get to play a little bit more.
Gators in the Green Wave down in Tampa at the Gasparilla Bowl kickoff at 3:30. Catch the game live on 10:10 a.m. It's 61 degrees at 12 o'clock. Time in temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, get ready to spend the next 2 hours with our three sports-loving ladies. Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Hey, hey.
This is Helmets and Heels
On 1010XL, switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
Show me what you got, pretty lady.
We are live from Vegas. We are live in a cabana at Stadium Swim here at Circa Resort and Casino because, of course, it's the world's largest outdoor hot tub party. We have a party tonight, Huddle Up with the Heels. Go online, RSVP, and when you show up, you have a chance to win tickets and transportation, a pair of tickets and transportation to Jaguars Raiders on Sunday, and it's Taylor Dahl's birthday. I don't know what more there is to say.
Like, what a day. What a day.
It is absolutely gorgeous here, too.
Oh, it's perfect. I'm not hungover yet, so that's good. I may be on Monday by the time we get there. But
it is your birthday.
My
You're
voice
allowed
is
to say
back,
that.
by the way.
Your voice
everybody.
is back. Taylor's back. That's right.
We're all good to go. Yeah, I mean, what a fantastic view. There's a ton of massive screens out here at Stadium Swim. If you've never been here and you are a sports fan, you've got to come because I could sit here all day long and just watch football.
That's why I'm like, wow, I know there's all these other casinos and other things going on the Strip. Our wonderful engineer, Mateo, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, X or Facebook, you'll probably see him pop up. He's telling us about other casinos here in the Fremont area. And I'm like, how am I supposed to leave here? How am I supposed to leave this beautiful view that we're broadcasting from? Don't worry, YouTube fam. Don't worry, MyBookie Digital Studio audience. Mateo has already told me he will at some point. We will make sure he lifts the iPad. He shows you live that we are indeed here poolside at Stadium Swim.
It is an unbelievable day and an unbelievable weekend of football. And,
Yes.
of course, there's other sports, too. Florida men's basketball plays tomorrow morning, but so much football, starting with Florida-Tulane. You just heard Molly mention in the update. That'll be on 10:10 a.m. And then, of course, we have Taylor Dahl's Notre Dame taking on Indiana tonight in the first game of the 12-team college football playoff.
Yes.
It is just so much fun. And tonight, oh, by the way, there will be drink specials at the Overhang Bar as well as a specialty Duval cocktail. So if you're in Vegas, come and hang out with us. Like I said, RSVP online. But let's get it to the actual football game, Jaguars-Raiders. I feel like the highlight of Sunday will be Brian Thomas Jr.
And
Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Who wins that? Obviously, they both play offense, so it's not like offense versus defense. They're not going to be on the field at the same time. But who wins that kind of stats battle? Who has more catches? Who has more yards? Who has more touchdowns? It should be Brian Thomas Jr. because the Raiders' defense is terrible.
Yeah, I think that is the one. If you want to watch the game, I feel like we obviously will be. But that is two people that if anybody that maybe isn't a Jags or Raiders fan wants to watch this game, those are two players that you are watching for because not only the seasons that they've had in general, but as rookies. And those are the two offensive rookies that we're talking about the most right now. And so it's really exciting to kind of see that. It'll be fun to see Brock in person, though, too, because we had so many conversations in draft time of who was going to take Brock. Everybody we talked to was like, no, we're just not going to take a tight end that high. We're not going to take a tight end that high. And then now look what he's doing. Yeah, so it'll be
It's a
really
luxury pick because they don't have a quarterback. But
and so he's doing this without a quarterback, by the way. Imagine if they had even the slightest of somebody to throw him the ball, what he'd be looking like this season. And honestly, same for Brian Thomas Jr. There's been a lot of problems offensively for the Jaguars, and when it came to play calling, when it came to some of the issues of just things that weren't going right, and then Trevor leaves, and that shifts everything that you were kind of hoping was going to be his rookie season, yet he's still having a Pro Bowl caliber season, to be honest with you.
Now. Let's not say...
He's in the top 3 right now of receivers in general.
Oh, no. I want to pivot to Lauren's opening question. Sorry. I want to pivot to Lauren's opening question because before we jetted off to Las Vegas on the Duval Rundown podcast yesterday morning, Gus Logan and I posed the question. You can't pick Brian Thomas Jr. Who else are you looking for these final 3 weeks of the season?
Yeah.
And so in honor of those 3 weeks, we picked 3 players. But I think it is important to note that while, yes, mathematically the Jaguars are eliminated, in terms of sheer star power, in terms of league-wide, yes, those are the only 2 players of note in Sunday's matchup at Allegiant Stadium. But I do think there's some other names that we'll have to talk about that
Definitely.
we need to see production from, regardless of who is making the decisions this time next year, because we need to see something from draft picks here over the last 4 years that have matriculated during their time with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We need to see perhaps some semblance of progression from some free agent signings that will be here next year because the dead cap money
That are
would
still
be
healthy.
too much would be too much for them to be voted off the island, if you may. And so I think that we have to also look at it as much as, yes, BTJ, Brock Bowers, that will be the headliner on Sunday. There are some other names that I do want to make sure we look for.
Yeah, and I think when we're looking at this team, you are trying to figure out right now, obviously, what the biggest holes are. We know there are several, and we've talked about that the last few weeks, but what do you really want to focus on moving forward? And I know we've avoided the draft talk as long as possible, but we are approaching that where it's kind of inevitable at this point.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, I think that there's got some of these young players. When we've talked about a Mason Smith, somebody like that, the season Ventrell's had when he's come out, even a Devin Lloyd, honestly, some of the flashes we've seen from Devin Lloyd in certain times this season, and the secondary is going to be a big talking point because that's something that I think a lot of disappointment this season. And so
Massive.
there are names that we're going to be talking about. Travis Etienne, like, what does that contract look like?
I think he's here next year because the 5th year.
Fifth
Yeah,
year, but
he's here next
you're
year.
still planning, though. You've got to plan ahead for Travis Etienne, or do you get another back this year and figure it out? Because we've kind of seen all of these backs from this, what was supposed to be a bad running back class, actually look pretty decent right now.
Let's begin with the first name you said there, Mason Smith, because he was on our list yesterday on Duval Rundown. And I think what's important with Mason Smith is not just his progression over the next 3 weeks. By the way, in case you missed it, he was tied for the lead in pressures for the Jaguars defense against the Jets. Lauren, how many pressures did Mason Smith have? 2. He had
Just
2.
Okay, that was sad.
He and Jeremiah Ledbetter both had 2, and that was the team lead. So I say that to say you need to see more from him, certainly, but I also think what's going to be interesting these last 3 weeks is the numbers game along the defensive front. We've heard Doug Peterson say it consistently. You can only give 48 players a jersey on game day. It's a numbers game. There are players who will have to be inactive. I would love to see Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson actually active in the same game on the interior playing together. Yes, certainly Tyler Lacey has at times flashed. Jeremiah Ledbetter is an older veteran player who you love to have that presence on the interior, but I need to see what those two, a second and a 4th round pick, that's premium draft capital.
Yep.
I need to see what those 2 rookies look like together, even if Jordan Jefferson ultimately is simply Devon Hamilton's backup at the nose.
Yeah, and on the other side of the ball, like I mentioned earlier this week, Javon Foster, we haven't seen him.
Yep.
So why can't you get him some snaps along the offensive line? Mac Jones is a guy that's going to get the ball out quickly. We've seen the offense designed around what works to Mac's strengths. So go ahead and put him in, and let's see.
And he'll move, too. We saw that against the Jets a lot. The people around me were like, I didn't know Mac ran this much. And I was
The
like,
spin
he was a little
move.
scared, but
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Raiders give up 376 points this season. That's one of the worst in the league. They're not terrible defensively as far as like certain stats, but overall, obviously, it's not a great defense. So you would expect the Jaguars offensively to be able to move the ball, but defensively, the Jaguars are preparing for either Aiden O'Connell or Desmond Ridder. My guess is Aiden O'Connell starts ahead of Desmond Ridder and that he gets the ball to start, but I don't know what to expect from the Raiders offense.
So long as he's healthy. That's if Aiden O'Connell is healthy, Aiden O'Connell will start because
he was a full participant today, but how ready is he to go?
Yeah, he was yesterday. We don't know yet about today. We'll find out.
We don't know what
Today.
time it is.
I don't even know what day it is.
I know what time it is here. I know what time it is back in Duval.
It honestly
It's
feels
just
like
after
Saturday.
noon. It does feel like Saturday, though. But speaking of the injury report, let's go ahead and knock out the fair and fair injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah,
Jacksonville.
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm not going to lie, Lauren, as you're talking about the Raiders defense, I think we might have to have a fun exercise because we are in Vegas. We are in the city of fun because I want to see how many of these names you actually knew played on the Las Vegas Raiders here momentarily. We begin with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 4 players listed on the injury report each of the last 2 days. All 4 of practice this week. Ezra Cleveland with a knee, Walker Little with an ankle, Brandon Scherf still with the knee and shoulder. And then Brenton Strange with the AC joint sprain. Shout out to Doug Peterson for clarifying for me. You would think my mother is a dentist, was a biology major. I would know human anatomy. I do not. There's only one AC in your body, and it is in your shoulder. So all 4 of those players limited Wednesday and Thursday. Doug Peterson did say he expects Strange, the second-year tight end, to go Sunday against the Raiders. Okay, here we go. Tell me, obviously Aiden O'Connell, Desmond Ridder.
Yep.
Think you've heard those names. Jacoby Myers. Safe to hear that one. Alexander Madison.
Yes.
Play with the Vikings. Jordan Meredith, Sam Webb. I think this may
Jordan
have to,
Meredith.
This may have to be a bit throughout the show. I'm just gonna pick random Raiders names, and I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me if that's a real Raider or if that's a fake Raider. We may have to do that throughout the duration of today's 2-hour program here, live from Stadium Swim and Circa Las Vegas. All of those players I just listed are all on the Raiders injury report. They all had the same injury designation Thursday as they did Wednesday. The only did not practice was Jordan Meredith with an ankle injury, the guard. Meanwhile, limited participants included Jacoby Myers with an ankle injury, Sam Webb, the cornerback, with a back injury. The other 3 players, the 2 quarterbacks, and Alexander Madison, the running back, were all full participants.
I wonder if we'll see a fair catch free kick.
That was so weird.
Kick the first time we saw one in 48 years.
Did you know
last
that
night.
rule?
I did not know that rule, so we are going to have to circle back to that at some point because I did not know that rule. Real quick, as we put a bow on this
Dicker the
week's...
kicker, by the way. is the one who made it.
Yeah,
Cameron Dicker.
as we put a bow on this week's Fair and Fair injury update, 534 off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Yes, we may be in Vegas. You could still interact with the program at 904-641-1010 or the MyBookie Digital Studio on YouTube. 534, I am glad that Taylor is off the injury report in time for Vegas.
Absolutely. We made sure that we had you on IR for a few days. But,
so I was ready to go today.
Yeah, absolutely. But certainly glad to have you back. Look, we can't say enough good things about where we are. It is an incredible day here in Las Vegas, and we really do appreciate everyone here at Circa Resort and Casino who has been so fantastic to us. And look, there's this whole thought process about the Jags right now, right? Do you want them to win any of the final 3 games, all of the final 3 games? Do you want them to lose because of draft order? The Raiders are certainly in an era, too, where they don't have the quarterback like we talked about for their future. The Jaguars have the quarterback for the future. I understand the fan base is split. My personal feelings are, my head tells me you want the team to lose to get the best draft selection. But the moment the game kicks off, and especially since we'll be at Allegiant Stadium, we passed by it last night on our way to the hotel from the airport.
You're not cheering for a loss.
Correct. The moment the game kicks off, all of my fandom pops back in my heart, my stomach, and I say, go get that win.
Yeah.
Go have fun, right? These guys work so incredibly hard, and I understand it's been a horrible, disappointing season. But certain guys deserve more wins. Guys like Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker and Foye Oluokun. They deserve more.
Yeah, and I think most fans would agree with that. And no fan, I don't think, wants to lose personally. And they obviously want for the players because that shifts things. Like momentum changes, vibes change. At least you could go into the offseason with a little more optimism if certain guys show up in these last few weeks, things like that. But I do think there's a large part of the fan base, not even just the draft pick, but that are also like, I don't want any jobs saved right now. And if they end up going on this weird stretch where things look good and they're like, oh, they did it with Mac Jones and no offensive weapons pretty much other than BTJ and Tank, they're afraid that jobs will be saved, and a lot of people do not want that at this point.
Yes, they are certainly.
Myself.
They're hoping for a complete change of regime. Of course, general manager, head coach, and then the coordinators as well. But Mia, it feels like there's not a single person at Everbank Stadium or the Miller Electric Center that has any thought process about losing. This is not a team that's tanking.
No, they're not, but I have Tankathon pulled up. So do you want the numbers? Because
they also have to save their jobs right now, so they definitely don't
try.
And I think it's important to note that I don't think anybody has quit. I don't think that there's any packing it in, but I also think at the same time, and I was in the locker room yesterday before we flew out, I also think they are very much in tune with the reality of their situation right now. Yeah. They understand that this is a 3-11 outfit. Speaking of 3-win teams, there are 5 of them right now in the National Football League. So for those of you who do want to pay attention to draft order, ultimately, yes, the Las Vegas Raiders are currently slated to pick first. So if you if you beat them, they're picking ahead of you anyways. They only have 2 wins. They have lost 10 straight games. Whatever. Those other 4 teams that have 3 wins, Just so, maybe you're keeping an eye out just to keep, an idea of maybe where draft position may lie. The Tennessee Titans face the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. The Cleveland Browns travel across the state to face the Cincinnati Bengals.
So the Browns will lose and the Titans will lose.
Yes, so there's that. The Carolina Panthers we were just talking about, first of all, have been a pleasant surprise despite being a 3-win outfit. I think we've seen more positive developments from Bryce Young since he returned after being benched. I think that team as a whole has shown a little bit of fight, which maybe some weren't expecting. They are also going to be hosting Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals in 35-degree weather, which has Kyler Murray shaking quite literally in
saying
his
the
boots.
S word.
Yeah, so he's not too happy about that. And then finally, the New England Patriots travel to face the Buffalo Bills. I think we know where that one is headed as well. So just laying it out there. Not that we are in the business of looking at draft order. I understand ultimately it is still about wins in this profession. But if you are wondering, there you go. There's your weekly roundup.
I am personally ready for a season where we're not looking at tankathon in November. End of November, beginning of December.
The last 2 seasons, obviously, that's how it was.
Yeah.
2 years ago, the late run, the late push to make the playoffs, and then certainly excitement when you were able to defeat the Chargers, who we just talked about the free kick last night, the fair catch free kick. The Chargers were down, 27-10, and then came back and won that game over the Broncos, which was a surprise to me. But then last season, of course, the Jaguars 8-3. Everyone knows the story, the collapse down the stretch, and now we find ourselves going completely in the wrong direction. All right, I mentioned
maybe it's the right direction though. Who's to say?
Who's to say? I would say it's the wrong direction at least as of now because I expected us to be in Vegas talking about the postseason for the Jags. I mentioned that we have a chance for you to win tickets to the Jags-Raiders game if you come hang out with us tonight at the Overhang Bar for the Heels Huddle Up. Also, on the other side, we have a chance for you to go to the Jags game when they play host to the Titans. So keep it right here on Helmets and Heels. It's a Sunshine Turf Friday. You can find them online at sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243. And they will completely transform your backyard. You will love it. It is 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Can you make picks like a pro?
Yes!
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Are we doing this?
Play 1010XL's weekly pick'em.
We'll say yes.
You pick 'em at 1010XL.com.
Hey guys, it's your boy ET here. Give yourself and your partner the gift of better love in this holiday season. Let's make it a little easier for you too. Get yourself some Blue Chew. They have chewable tablets with the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxin. You can Blue Chew all online too. They have licensed medical professionals to help you find the right prescription and strengths. You don't even have to go to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. And when they mail it to you, it comes right to your front door in a discreet package. Nobody but you will know what's inside. And did I mention they make it right here in the good old US of A? Blue Chew has a great offer for you this holiday season. How does free sound? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month for free. That's right, I said it, free. Turn that holiday stress into some holiday cheer. Visit BlueChew.com.
Here for my bookie. What a week it has already been. Shout out to the Chargers for covering that 2.5-point spread on Thursday Night Football. My bookie is still the best sign-up deposit bonus in the industry available to Florida bettors. So what are you waiting for? We have a doubleheader on Saturday to kick off this week's NFL slate. The Houston Texans now 3-point dogs against the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes expected to play. The Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a disappointing loss at Philadelphia, 6-point dogs to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar and company are rolling. I might even look into a same-game parlay between Lamar Jackson hitting the over on his passing total and Mark Andrews at any time touchdown score. Again, folks, MyBookie is the best sign-up bonus in the industry right now. Be sure to sign up using promo code 1010XL where you'll automatically be entered for a double deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code 1010XL. Make yourself a winner with MyBookie.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Pre-game Friday.
Built by Dream Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle on 1010XL. Shania Twain.
Let's go, girl.
Live in Jacksonville. Shania Twain. One incredible show. Live at Daly's Place, July 29th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit ShaniaTwain.com.
Out of this world.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Sunshine Turf Friday on Helmets and Heels.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Are the company's Zoom calls getting boring? Might be a good time to order some new logo caps or temporary tattoos. Check them out online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. From their famous wings to refreshing new cocktails, serving up the flavors you crave. And score big with awesome happy hour deals. It's the perfect spot to catch all the football action while enjoying your food faves, cocktails, and beer. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. Find the restaurant nearest you at hurricanewings.com.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week,
Casey Stahl, senior basketball player at Sandalwood High. Casey has received the Presidential Volunteer Gold Service Award from President Biden and is a member of the National Honor Society.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a septic tank emergency.
Don't let your holidays go down the drain. Duck Rooter's here to save your Christmas cheer. Whether it's a stubborn clog, a burst pipe, or a septic scare, we'll fix it faster than Santa can slide down a chimney. Duck Rooter. Call us now and save the day. 904-862-6769 or visit duckrooter.com. Duck Rooter, because nobody wants a silent night in the bathroom.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
Mia O'Brien, Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks, live here at Circa Resort and Casino. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters, making it all happen. I mentioned today's Taylor Dahl's birthday, also my mom's best friend Susan's birthday. You guys share a birthday.
Happy birthday, Susan.
Yeah, and
Sagittarius Queen.
That's right. And we are here at Stadium Swim, and I can't get over just how absolutely gorgeous it is. The lovely temperature of 53 degrees, but with no humidity, feels like 70. It is a stunning place to be. All right, if you want to go see the Jaguars take on the Titans Sunday, December 29th, be call number 4 at 641-1010. Call number 4, 641-1010. And you are headed to go see the Jags take on the rival hated Tennessee Titans, win a pair of tickets. That's right. And now that Taylor Dahl is back, we can actually have a tangent.
Yay.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
That's funny because Mia was telling me a story when we were in the elevator earlier. I don't even actually know. I think we were walking through the hallway.
We
but
still don't
she
know
said,
what time it is or
yeah,
what day it is.
So our hotel, obviously, there's multiple different views. Lauren, you and Brian have like the the mountainside, that type of view. We have the party side view, and so we're like, you look out our windows and you can see the hot tubs, pools, screens, all of this stuff. Mia said she woke up this morning and opened the blinds and immediately was like a giant Chick-fil-A ad on the screen. I was like, how perfect was that?
Absolutely.
How perfect was that? So I just wanted to go over we've talked about a lot of, when I mentioned earlier, Pro Bowler Brian Thomas Jr., the Pro Bowl games announced some of the returning games that they are going to have this season. And I know we talk a lot about the Pro Bowl and how it's kind of lost its flavor a little bit. But I do like the more like Pro Bowl, the skills stuff. It is kind of fun to watch those guys do that type of stuff. So they are returning some fan favorites. They announced that 2 days ago. Some of the ones that are coming out here. So the passing the test, obviously the quarterbacks try to hit the targets at the various distances around the field worth different points. We know that one. We've seen that one a lot. I don't think they ever got rid of that one. Satisfying catches is another one they're going to have this year where one wide receiver, a tight end, and a defensive back from each conference will compete in a challenge obstacle course, including catches from jugs machines at 3 different distances to test every aspect of catching a football. Each teammate will complete the course back-to-back with the lowest combined time winning the challenge. So that sounds like a fun one. It's kind of putting those DBs up against the wide receivers, which is fun to see. The relay race, which is a relay style event where 4 players from each conference complete a 40-yard dash while handing the football off to the next athlete on their team, continuing that until the 4th and final leg crosses the finish line. The conferences will compete in 3 different rounds, and the fastest team obviously winning that one. So those are for the fast guys we like to see. Brian Thomas Jr. probably would be very good at that one.
He would be excellent. The problem is I don't know that he has enough teammates for them to take the cake on that one. Although we have seen Travis Etienne certainly clock pretty fast in Tank Bigsby as well.
So Helmet Harmony is another one, a game show to test players' knowledge of their teammates with every correct answer worth a point. The team with the most correct answers wins. That one's fun because you get to see like how well they know each other, which is sometimes not at all, and some know each other very well. You can see how close your locker room is at that point.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like a Trevor, Christian, Evan. They would do really well.
Travis.
Certainly Travis, Etienne as well.
Dodgeball, we know that one. That's always a fun one to watch. The Punt Perfect, 2 players, 1 punter, 1 non-punter from each conference. Punt from the 35-yard line, attempting to place as many punts as possible into a set of 6 buckets in the end zone. Each bucket is worth 1 point, and with every fifth punt worth 3 points. So
that seems
a
like
punter and non-punter.
Yeah, that seems like Mia and Nick De La Torre, who now works for Florida Victorious, came up with that one.
Well, I want to know if it was it inspired by Dude Perfect, that it's Punt Perfect? Like that's the first where my head goes. But yeah, maybe it should go to special teams and taking the under since we are in Las Vegas.
Yes. And the next one is the Great Football Race. 6 players from each conference will face off in a relay race consisting of 5 different challenges. Sled push, the team to cross the finish line first wins, and the final one is the tug of war. So if you are interested in any of those fun events, obviously it's still...
I want to compete, but I'm not a Pro Bowler.
Well,
I
that's
think
what
tug
they
of war
should
would
do.
be an absolute blast.
That would be kind of fun. What if one year they were like players versus fans, and you could
we would get our butts kicked is what would happen.
But we could, maybe you'd get lucky though. Like maybe every now and then, like the dodgeball, I feel like I would get my head knocked off. But I know some people that I think could compete pretty well.
It would be fun. I do appreciate that they're not putting that awful mess of a fake game out on the field anymore. So it has gotten better. But now that it's in Orlando, it doesn't feel like the players love it nearly as much as it once, like in Hawaii.
Well, that's my thing. If the game was still in Hawaii, do you think it would be such an awful game? Do you think it would still be, hey, like we're just trying to not get hurt?
Yes, because they just don't want anybody to get, like, they've gotten so protective of players anyways, especially quarterbacks. I could still see them being the way they are, where they're like, don't tackle. And it is, and that's what you start losing that, because it used to be this fun. Number one, the Pro Bowl vote, you felt like meant more anyways. Now it does feel like it's more of a popularity contest rather than like the best players in the league. And then then you watch the game and you're like, okay, like nobody's hitting. You can't.
They're just here to have fun.
Yeah, they're having a good. You're playing flag football in your backyard, which is fun if you're involved, but not. You don't want to watch that on TV.
Right, absolutely. You mentioned Chick-fil-A.
Yes, we have a lunch. So another giveaway today. Lunch for 2. Lunch on the ladies. Give us a call at 904-641-1010, and you could win lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. Let's say caller number 3.
All right, clue number 3. We'll do our picks on the other side, but I want to get just some quick thoughts from y'all on the college football playoff. And in as far as, do you think, because we've seen the spreads all around a touchdown, if not more, do we think that chalk is going to win out? The home teams, in other words, are going to win because obviously the home team in each of the 4 games is favored by, that type of a spread.
I would like to first note, Lauren, that I believe we already have a game that has kicked off. Not in the college football playoff, but bowl season. We have Ohio and Jacksonville State, which is a very strange sensation as we come at you live at 9:27 a.m. Pacific time to have a college football game on.
This is honestly great.
This is what we're going to have, though, tomorrow. To answer your question, I am afraid to take any of the underdogs outright, but I do believe that the spread will be covered in more than one of these first 4 games.
Did you say all of them were 7?
They're all a minimum of 7 or more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the highest?
The highest is the Clemson, Texas. Last I checked was a 12-point favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if when we met the lady in the airport yesterday that thought the one quarterback played for the Jaguars, if she was talking about Jacksonville State. I'm wondering.
Maybe she was one of the people that, checked you in right as you get on the plane. She was like, do you know Troy Hill plays for the Jaguars? And I was like, I've never heard of this person. She was like, well, he's a starter. And I was like, if he was a starter, I 100%, I would know everything about him.
Wait, but she was on the Jacksonville flight? Or
no, she worked at the airport. In the Minneapolis airport.
Okay.
So I couldn't quite figure out
Troy Hill plays for Jacksonville
she was
State.
talking about, but either way. I love the home aspect for these games because we've never seen this before. That's the one unique part of the 12-team playoff. We've obviously had a playoff in the past with the 4-teamer for the last 10 years, but we've never had an environment like we're going to have in South Bend and Columbus and these, in Austin and in State College. I mean, Taylor said people started tailgating this morning in South Bend at 7 a.m.
Right, well, I believe it. And
It's
also
like 14 degrees there.
Right, it's 14 degrees and snowing. And that's what is so different than what we are traditionally used to, where these marquee games take place in indoor stadiums. They take place in warmer weather climates. That's what's going to be so fascinating to see. A friend of our program, Alex Walker from WFTV down in Orlando, is a Penn State grad. I saw he just tweeted his flight from Orlando to Harrisburg had nothing but Nittany Lion fans, literally in whiteout conditions, pun intended. Everybody had their white Penn State shirts on, so look, people are going to be flying to their alma mater, their home institution for a game, as opposed to, hey, let me go to Phoenix, let me go to Orlando or Miami for a bowl game. You are going back to where it all began to host. That's what's going to be so interesting to see how many people you're able to draw. I saw tickets for tonight's game. The lowest price to get in the door was like $600 some odd.
Oh, and that's low because the first few days it was like $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 to get in. And that one will be because obviously it's both teams in Indiana. So that is it ended up being a kind of cool matchup because honestly a lot of Indiana fans are Notre Dame fans because it's kind of the thing where they're like they cheer for Notre Dame football, but they like went to Indiana. And so now they're like, now I got to decide which Indiana team I'm going to cheer for. But they obviously are familiar with the weather and stuff like that. That's why I kind of wanted somebody who was wasn't used to playing in that type of weather, but it will be interesting the turnout of that. I know Notre Dame fans have been trying really hard and like adamantly on Twitter of like, don't sell your tickets to Indiana fans, don't do it. So we'll see how that ends up looking later.
I said to Mia earlier this week, I would bet it's like 90% Notre Dame fans, 10% Indiana fans.
I would hope so.
I've been to that stadium and Boston College is certainly not like the greatest fan base of all time, but they've got a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's also more of a rivalry,
and
too.
It's also driving very few Boston College fans.
Right, but it's driving distance for Indiana fans.
I just don't think Notre Dame fans, to your point, are going to
sell their tickets like that. I hope not. I mean, it will be obvious because it's red, so you'll see it.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it's not snowing and we can at least see everything. Exactly. All right, we will make our picks on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Sunshine Turf Friday as we broadcast live from Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino, live in Las Vegas on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And be sure to check out their end-of-year sale, including 18-month special financing. Closets by Design, 1-800-293-3744.
Hey gang, Dan Hicken here for America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. It's PrizePicks. First things first, download the app today and use code JAX, that's JAX, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download that app today, use code JAX, $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. How to play? All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, like, is Jared Goff going to throw for more than 230 passing yards? Will Saquon Barkley have more than 1 touchdown? Will Travis Kelce have less than 70 receiving yards? You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, which they usually do, I get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. PrizePicks also now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals. PrizePicks, run your game.
Mia here, and when I was buying a new construction home last summer, there was no question. Dreamfinders Homes was the builder for me. A big reason why? Their unbeatable interest rates. Right now, you can take advantage of a 4.99% fixed rate for just a limited time only as part of celebrating the new year. That's a 4.99% fixed rate. Take advantage of these unbeatable rates. Move in today. Find your dream home only with Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, because happy Honda days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss happy Honda days going on now at your local Honda dealer.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget, and with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
It's a Sunshine Turf Friday. The highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices. Visit sunshineturf.info today.
I'm living proof that with Rebound Rehab, you can bounce back and get back in the game. Joe C. for Rebound Rehabilitation, and they helped me recover from an ankle injury that had me down and out. Their team of physical therapists ensure you'll get the best treatment you need to recover and regain mobility. From back, shoulder, and neck pain to a nagging knee or arthritis, Rebound Rehab can help form a game plan through therapy and exercise, complete with an app so you can continue to recover at home. Check out reboundrehab.com. 8 convenient locations.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 20th, 1981, NHL left wing Doug Smale sets NHL record, scoring in the first 4 seconds of the game for the fastest goal from an opening faceoff in history.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. The first 50 customers get a free True Screen upgrade, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Happy Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Day and here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
There's still time to grab a mouth-watering holiday roast at Southern Steer Butcher in Ortega. Come for the roast and leave a hero with last-minute gift cards for the whole fam.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars defense is preparing for two different quarterbacks this week in Las Vegas, Desmond Ridder and Aiden O'Connell. Jaguars defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen has some familiarity with Ridder after both spent time with the Falcons. Nielsen on what the Jaguars have to do if they play against Ridder on Sunday.
We have to do a great job of keeping him in the pocket. Like, we have to keep him in, because once he gets out and he starts creating, then that's when the plays happen. You know, we've got to make him stay in there, go through his progression in the coverage, change the coverages up on him, you know, show him one thing and do something else.
Ryan Nielsen on Desmond Ridder with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update. I'm Andrew Gibson.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Helmets and Heels is switched on by
First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Upscale Lighting, Fans, and Home Decor on 1010XL.
Just a reminder, if you are here in Vegas tonight at the Overhang Bar at Circa Resort and Casino, we will be hanging out. It'll be the Heels Huddle Up, and you can come by for drink specials and a chance to win tickets to Sunday's Jags-Raiders game, which is 4:25 Eastern, 1:25 Pacific time, and transportation.
If you are party 7 to 9, by the way.
7 to 9 tonight, RSVP
Pacific
online.
time,
If you
of
don't,
course.
yeah, and if you don't RSVP, that's fine. Just show up.
If I'm screaming at the TV, I'm sorry in advance.
If you are watching us right now live on YouTube, Facebook, or X, you may see us moving. Don't be alarmed. That is our engineer extraordinaire, Mateo, local here from the Las Vegas area, although, as we found out, he is actually a LA native
guy
and a massive Lakers
There
fan,
you
like
go.
one RJ Saunders. So we just found you a new best friend, RJ, out here in Las Vegas. Mateo's going to be moving the iPad around so you guys can feel like you are here at Stadium Swim with us at Circa Casino and Resort. Just look at the beautiful sunshine. Yes, the largest sports television TV screens in the world.
The largest hot tub party also is what they were telling us. So that is a good time. Lauren, you were already on break. Like, I'm going to jump in right after. You can see the steam coming off of it, by the way.
RJ, I want to make sure, just because I just pulled up the live stream, you do have the feed. Yes, I know. I just saw it. There we go. We got the feed up there. Perfect. Cool. Want to make sure we're delivering on that. But yes, just look at the beautiful pools, the hot tubs, so much more. Wish you guys could be with us, but feel like you're with us. Or if you are out here in Vegas, come hang out right here at Circa this evening.
Yeah, we really appreciate our friends here. They've been fantastic. And certainly to 1010XL, we appreciate everyone who helped make this a reality. All right, so get it to our picks. Currently, the standings are as follows. Taylor closed the gap on Mia. 45 points for Taylor, 48 points for Mia as we come down the stretch. And I have 54 points. I had 2 really good weeks, and then last week, not so much. And that's what I get.
I've had a lot of bad weeks.
I
also
also
picked
for picking against Navy, I never do that.
I
because of my
picked 6 underdogs last week, so in my defense, it was the ultimate social experiment.
Yeah.
And I went
It didn't work.
2 and 4.
I just also pick too much with my heart sometimes, but I
Yep.
can't help it.
I understand. Well, we have for today's slate, we have the 4 college football playoff games, 2 NFL games. We're not picking Florida Tulane because I think most of us would take Florida.
That line has shifted, though, Lauren, so I do want to begin there in the college football ranks. Florida opened as a 2-touchdown favorite. That line has shrunk to 10. it's not like the lineup for either side has really changed all
well,
that
there
much.
have been a few of the key Florida players that have entered the transfer portal, so my guess is that they think that Florida's not as focused.
Jack Pyburn and Little Cersei. Little Cersei.
Kobe Collins.
Those three are worth 4
Leon's
points?
probably pumped, though.
I just think that overall the mindset is they're thinking Florida's not that hyped for this game because they do have players defecting, so to speak. But at the same time, people are probably thinking that Billy Napier, some people, was on the hot seat. They didn't pay attention to the end of the season.
Yeah.
So there's also that, which if Florida loses to Tulane today, I will tell you this, that hot seat comes right back. And what he did at the end of the regular season, because that's how fans work, he will be right back and have people freaking out about next year.
What
but
does
at least
your
they
night
have
look
DJ
like if
Lagway.
they lose tonight?
Yeah, not good. Not good.
It's a good
Taylor.
thing that-
But I'll still be at the overhang bar for
Right.
the Fields Huddle Up regardless.
Well, the good news is because that game takes place at 3:30 Eastern time, right?
12:30.
It's
Yes.
12:30
Yeah.
here,
Perfect
so
time.
Lauren's mood could completely change by the time 7 o'clock rolls around at the overhang bar.
We shall see. All right, let's get things started. Indiana travels to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a touchdown favorite there in South Bend. We just talked about the weather, certainly going to be a factor for both teams, but Notre Dame really wants to run the ball, so I've got the Irish winning this one and covering the 7-point spread because I do think that with the conditions, Indiana's passing attack is not going to be able to do what they want to do with Curtis Rourke and those guys. So I've got Notre Dame at home. Mia.
I am going to take the Fighting Kurt Signetti's to cover that 7-point spread. I do think Notre Dame wins the game, but I do think we get one last stand from 11 Windiana, and Home Field Apparel will make more T-shirts.
Is that a thing?
Windiana? Yeah, have you never heard of 11 Windiana?
No.
Oh, yeah, it started back in 2019 with 9 Windiana, who, of course, notoriously played in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl against Tennessee once upon a time.
Okay, I remember when they played here. I didn't even know
that was 9 Windiana, which, trivia time, who was the offense coordinator of that 9 Windiana team?
I don't remember.
A guy by the name of Kalen DeBoer.
Oh,
that's right.
And they were quarterbacked by a fella by the
guy
name.
that's not in the college football playoffs.
Yes, true. But they were quarterbacked by a fella who is now in a playoff race in the National Football League in one Michael Penix Jr.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do.
Me
with
too.
the
I've been
Falcons.
waiting for him for my Dynasty League all year.
Exactly.
Now it's too late.
Taylor, who you got?
I'm very nervous, but I'll go Notre Dame. Al Golden's defense, I feel like, has been pretty unstoppable all season. And to your point, too, with this snowy weather, not only Jeremiah Love, but Jadarian Price, too, I think we'll be able to run the ball really well. And Riley Leonard, when he gets moving on, when he uses his legs, he can be dangerous. So I will say Notre Dame.
All right, now we'll get it to Penn State. State College is going to be, I'm sure, full of the whiteouts, as they always have it there. And so Penn State, 8.5-point favorites at home against SMU. Also a weather factor game. Mia, well, I'll start with you.
I would first like to begin with a newfound epiphany that I had watching college basketball the other night. A quick little sidebar. Is Shaka Smart the James Franklin of college basketball? Can never win the big one. Is always in the conversation of, 2-seed. Could win the Big East. Could win the Big 12 when he was at Texas. And then promptly gets upset by an 11th-seeded Northern Iowa once upon a time. I feel the same way about James Franklin. I've made that very well known on this program. There's some Nittany Lion fans that don't like me. Once again, I will take Penn State to win, but I do think SMU covers that 8.5-point spread.
Taylor.
Yeah, I remember going back a few weeks ago or whenever they did the first college football playoff, and it was like at that point projected that it would be Notre Dame, Penn State, and everyone was like, which team blows it the worst type of mentality, because that is kind of what James Franklin has surrounding him. I think Penn State wins, but I do think SMU covers. I think that Kevin Jennings is able to just spread the ball so well, so many different weapons, that I think it will save them through the first few quarters. But then Penn State's defense is just gonna, I feel like, hold them down at the end of the game.
Well, I had penciled in SMU, but I have to go opposite because I'll stick with the same philosophy that I have as far as Notre Dame is concerned, and that is the home team in this type of weather and the way that Penn State is just a classic style of football, right? Their offense. And so I'll switch it up. I'll go with Penn State. Taylor, I'll start with you when it comes to Texas now. A 12.5-point favorite at home against Clemson. Apparently, Vegas, as we're here in Vegas, does not believe in Dabo Swinney's group.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's big to me. I feel like I have to go Clemson. From what I saw from Quinn Ewers last time they played, I don't have much confidence at all. I'm wondering if we'll see Manning at some point because of that. I do think that Dabo proved that this defense that we talked a lot about in the preseason before football started can still be that defense. Cade Klubnik, we've seen have a lot of really good moments. When he turns the ball over, unfortunately, it kind of unravels for him. So as long as he can protect the football, I think Clemson's able to cover.
Yeah.
It's a massive number.
I know.
It is a massive number. I have clamored week in and week out for Clemson to simply rely on Phil Maffa, to rely on that run game. And I understand he's been banged up, but I also understand that they keep going away from the run.
Yep.
It pains me to do this because I don't trust Quinn Ewers either.
I know.
But I think this is a statement game for him. Give me the Longhorns.
Interesting.
He's trying to get drafted right now.
Yeah, I'm going with Clemson as well, but I'm surprised to hear you say Texas, Mia, because I thought you didn't believe in Quinn Ewers.
I don't. but I also I get this sneaking suspicion though that he's going to show up, but then we're going to get an epic quarterfinal matchup because that would be with Arizona State. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm ready for the Sun Devils, who, fun facts, tied for the best mark against the spread in 2024. The Sun Devils are 11-2. And I'm looking forward to that matchup.
Yeah, I've got Clemson as well, just covering because, like you said, it's a huge number, and I was surprised that it kept going up versus down. Tennessee takes on Ohio State in Columbus. Again, another 20-degree, snowy condition type of game. The Buckeyes are 7.5-point favorites. Give me the Vols to cover this. I think the offense can be explosive despite the weather. So I've got Tennessee covering. Taylor.
I'm going to say Ohio State. Their offensive line does concern me. That's my biggest. Not that they're terrible, but they've definitely struggled in run blocking, which has led to them not being able to run the ball at certain times this season. But I do just think they're way too talented. Like that Michigan game, I feel like it embarrassed them, and hopefully they come out firing on all cylinders because of that. So, yeah, give me Ohio State.
I can't believe I'm rooting for the Vols.
No, but you hate both teams anyways.
I do. I hate both. I saw a map that showed like what team in the college football playoff every state is rooting for. Tennessee, the only state in all of the country rooting for Tennessee.
I don't buy that. There's enough Ohio State haters, or at least maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's enough Ohio State hatred out there.
Yeah.
That Michigan has to. Right?
Is Ryan Day still standing on the sideline in shock right now?
I mean, here's the problem. The reason, Lauren, that I took Texas minus 12.5 is because I am also taking the Vols to cover that 7.5. The hook is just so juicy.
I know.
The hook is just so juicy to me. So I can't say no to it. It's there for a reason. I have had questions about Nico Iamaleava and the offense's consistency on Rocky Top, but I also would love nothing more than for Ryan Day to have to sweat it out, even if Ohio State wins it outright. I love the discourse and the chaos surrounding the head coaching position in Columbus.
I mean, we knew that Ohio State had to beat Michigan, right? Everyone said they had to beat Michigan in order for him to keep his job.
And it should have been a walk in the park.
But they're in the college football playoff despite that. And so, yeah, certainly we shall see what Josh Heupel's group can do in Columbus. All right, and then we'll switch it to the NFL. The Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes likely starting, are 3-point favorites at home against the Texans. Mia, I'm going to guess you're going Chiefs.
Yes.
I'm going to guess, actually, we're all going Chiefs. Taylor?
Yeah, I feel like it is interesting how healthy he will be and how they approach that, especially this late in the season and what they've done so far. He got bent in half. I was like,
he's Gumby.
I'm like, oh my
god.
god.
Him and Trevor have this weird thing
absolutely.
on.
But we've been surprised that he's going to play based off the fact that they're 13-1. They don't have to win this game.
They're so fixated on home field advantage, I guess, even though last year, last time I checked, they
didn't have it.
And they won the Super Bowl.
Mahomes had never won an away playoff game. Well, he took that.
Yeah, he's like, got it. But it's hard to not go for the Chiefs. I mean, especially right now with the Texans. It's just they're so underwhelming at this point.
Yeah, so we're all three going Chiefs, and then finally the Jaguars take on the Raiders here in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium on Sunday, not tomorrow. Today is not Saturday. The Raiders are 1.5-point favorites. You know which way I'm going. I'm taking the Jaguars. I think this Raiders team is worse than the Jags, and that's saying something, but I've got the Jaguars, no matter who's playing quarterback for the Raiders, winning.
I'm fascinated by that line, which has gone back and forth. It's basically a pick-em.
From what? One to...
It was a 1 point. Jags were a 1-point favorite. The Raiders, it's kind of gone back and forth. So this line could shift again before Sunday, especially when Saul of Duval arrives and starts putting money on the Jags, I guess. Taylor, you go first. That'll
determine. Trying to pick the opposite.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
I gotta pick up some ground.
I'm going Jags. I feel like I think both teams are struggling and both teams are bad, but I do think that...
Which is all correct.
Yes. I do think, though, that last week, and my dislike for Mac Jones, but I do think that he was able to move the ball in moments that you really needed him to, and especially, like we mentioned, using his legs. So I do think that they'll be able to pull this one out, but I don't think it's going to be pretty.
You may dislike Mac Jones, but you vehemently dislike the other guy that was starting at quarterback last week, Aaron Rodgers. We didn't get your hatred towards him this week since you were sick. Mia, who you got?
How about this? It's a 1.5 point line right now?
Correct.
I'm all about the hook this week. Give me the Raiders to cover. Or no, because they're the underdog. Never mind, Jaguars. I'll go Jags. Sorry, well, because I was like, okay, so maybe this is suggesting it'll be a 1-point ball game, which I could also see happening, which would be classic scoregami, which is what at this point, that's what I'm rooting for.
All right, that's going to do it for our picks this week. We will continue the Jaguars-Raiders conversation. On the other side, Vic Taffer of The Athletic will join us, and we'll talk all about this team that has 2 wins, but certainly is looking to the future already, as maybe the Jaguars eventually will be as well. All right, that's next. We are live here at Stadium Swim, and it is a Sunshine Turf Friday. Find them online at sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243. It's 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
If you want to save thousands on a premium pre-owned vehicle, then you've got to get to Arlington Toyota today, because it's the final days of Inflation Fighter savings, and it's going on now. Mia here, you heard that right. Only days remain to score Inflation Fighter savings at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That means it's the final days to put just $500 down and $288 per month for a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla at Arlington. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4 Tacoma for just $500 down and $388 per month, putting you in the driver's seat. Take that, inflation. Plus, Arlington's lot is packed with over 600 vehicles. Trust me, I was there twice this week. You even get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. If you want to fight inflation and score a new ride, don't wait. It's the final days to get Inflation Fighter savings at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/save for details.
You saw what happened. Jeff Lageman tells you why it happened.
And here's how you know you're right.
Jeff Lageman checks the tape for you. Tuesday on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Napa Auto Care.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
While other books make promises, MyBookie delivers. This holiday season, they're stacking the deck in your favor with 12 days of Christmas. Now through the 31st, a festival lineup of can't-miss opportunities for bettors to cash in on. Risk-free Thursday, super boosts, free bets, weekly casino giveaways with hundreds of winners and thousands in cash prizes. All it takes is a 50-cent spin on BetSoft slots to enter. With the road to New Orleans, bowl games galore, and a Christmas Day sports feast featuring NFL and an NBA doubleheader, this is your season to win. The 12 Days of Christmas event is live right now. Don't wait. Use promo code 1010XL with your first deposit, and MyBookie will give you a little extra start to your holiday. MyBookie is offering a 50% deposit bonus for 1010XL listeners just for signing up and using promo code 1010XL. There's a reason MyBookie has been the go-to for serious bettors for 10 years. Whether it's UFC, NFL, college ball, or casino, bet and win with confidence. Make your holiday season a jolly one with MyBookie.
This holiday season, give the gift of comfort and joy. Comfort food and the joy that comes with digging into a huge plate of diner favorites from Metro Diner. And to make things even more merry, now through the end of the year, they're adding on a $10 bonus card with every $50 spent on gift cards. Metro Diner gift cards are the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Friends, family, or coworkers. Stop by the diner or metrodiner.com and get all your gift shopping done easily. Happy holidays from Metro Diner.
If you know about artificial turf, you know it needs to be done right. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned company that will transform your outdoor space into the oasis of your dreams. A putting green, a pet run, a maintenance-free yard. Trust me, the team at Sunshine Turf are the experts you need to transform your lawn. With With the highest quality products and budget-friendly pricing, get clean, low-maintenance synthetic grass by visiting sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243 to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
It's a Helmets and Heels Sunshine Turf Friday.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. Or how about just sending one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it all.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the product, services, best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Christmas. 0% financing, available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway. And as always, tell them Prosser sent you.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
After consulting with several orthopedic specialists about my constant knee pain, I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and Dr. Chris Swanson to handle my surgery. Their professionalism let me know this team was the one for me. The surgery was very successful, and if I ever have a future need, I'll continue to trust Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to take care of me.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Need extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is always buying guns, musical instruments, surfboards, and tools, and pays cash money. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Brought to you by the YMCA. The Orlando Magic tried to search for their offense in their loss against the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, 105-99. However, couldn't find it going up against the best defensive team in the NBA. The Magic committed 20 turnovers in the game. Magic's head coach Jamal Mosley spoke post-game on the turnovers.
That's where it begins. You talk about, like you just said, the margin of error is very slim, and you can't turn it over 20 times for 26 points and hope to give yourself a chance in that situation. So we've got to be better in that situation and understand exactly how they play and what they're doing, and when they're reaching and grabbing and going after the basketball. So we've just got to be a lot stronger with it and then make the quicker decisions.
Magic will next host Miami tomorrow night at 7. It's 63 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Mia O'Brien, Taylor Dahl, the birthday girl. I'm Lauren Brooks. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters as we broadcast live from Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino. And we welcome in our first guest of the day from The Athletic, Vic Taffer, to talk all about this Raiders team. Vic, thank you so much for joining us, and we love Las Vegas so far.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Yes, we just landed last night, and certainly getting to all that is Circa has been amazing. All right, let's talk about the quarterback position. That's certainly where all the attention is this week. Who do you believe starts? Aiden O'Connell, Desmond Ridder, and how do you think they play?
Yeah, I'll be Aiden O'Connell. I think, he's been working out all week. He's been practicing. He looks all right. I think he brings a kind of a solidness, kind of a, got a good arm, and he's going to get rid of the ball pretty quickly, so it's kind of less of a chance for turnovers than with Desmond Ridder, so they're pretty happy about that.
Vic, one of the names that obviously not just Raiders fans are talking about, but the NFL league-wide is Brock Bowers. And I know we had you on back during draft time, and we did our mock draft of what potentially may be the selection for the Raiders. But Brock Bowers seems like it was a win, and we were talking about this weekend, two names, Brian Thomas Jr. and Brock, both being on the field and being two of the better offensive rookies this season. Tell us just a little bit about what he's been able to do this season, and even without kind of this a real quarterback, you feel like.
Yeah, he's come in from day one and been real solid. He's been kind of like an old soul kind of guy. Never didn't talk much. He brings his smoothness to work and gets to it. And he's a great catching the ball. He's great after the catch. He runs a lot of routes. Just a perfect tight end in this day and age.
Brock, we talked to him at SEC Media Days, and we couldn't get a lot out of him as far as humor and things like that. Have you noticed that when you talk to him?
Yeah, we've tried this one while now for almost 15 weeks. But yeah, he's not. It's not him. He's just a very quiet kid who likes to play football and not really talk about it. Like we ask him, why he's doing so well. He's like, what? I catch the ball and I run. That's pretty much what I do. So, yeah, he's not doing. That's probably one of the reasons why.
Yeah. If you haven't heard, they mic'd up Brock Bowers for a PGA Tour, or what was it, Vic? It was some sort of like Pro-Am this week or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and akin to our SEC Media Days experience, one of the nicest kids you'll find, and obviously one of the most elite talents in this past April's NFL draft. But at the same time, yes, he doesn't like to be put on the spot, per se, by the media as much. Vic Taffer of The Athletic, who covers the Raiders here locally, joining us on the Garber Auto Mall hotline. Vic, I joked about it in our first segment, but I think it's true, and you've covered this team for a couple of years now. In terms of the actual big picture roster makeup, yes, there were those teams, including, when we spoke to you and so many others during the NFL draft, that said Brock Bowers could be a luxury pick. But now we look back, and he's perhaps the most noteworthy name on this roster. At what stage would you put this roster build at? Is it still at ground zero? Are there enough pieces that next season this could be a roster that competes?
Yeah, I say round one. I guess they had some decent hosts in training camp. They had a bunch of injuries. And of course, there was the whole Devontae Adams fallout, and he kind of had to go. So I just think it kind of got off the rails pretty quickly. I think they're hoping next year that they get these guys back. There's 5 starters out on defense. They want to get those guys back, and then hopefully they get a quarterback next year, which is always important. So they still hope they can bounce back quickly next year.
Tell us about Allegiant Stadium. Will there be, do you think, a good chunk of Jaguars fans because the opposing fan bases love to come to Vegas?
Yeah, you tell me. I have no idea how much Jaguar fans travel, but usually that's the case. Usually these fans book it, way back when, and this is their one trip of the year. So even last week with the Falcons, they don't travel that well, I don't think. They showed up. They're definitely about half the crowd. So it seems like every week the Raiders don't have much of the home field advantage.
When we're talking about familiar names around here, Kayvon Chaisson's a very familiar name for Jacksonville fans. He has a few sacks on the season, an interception. What have you guys seen so far from him there? Do you see him at all in any future plans, even as a rotational piece in Vegas?
Yeah, they like him. They've been impressed by him just because he's got that first-round pick kind of traits. He has the size, the speed, the bend. He's also a very smart guy who knows how to read some things. They move him around a little bit, so definitely excited about him. And sometimes the first-round picks just takes a little while, and they really can't predict when it all clicks for someone.
And, of course, Kayvon Chaisson reunited with former Jaguars defense coordinator Mike Caldwell here in the desert, who is the linebackers coach for the Raiders. Vic, let's not bury the lead here. Is Antonio Pierce on the hot seat?
Yeah, he really is. I mean, they've lost 10 games in a row, so that's not good. I think on one hand you want to give them the benefit of the doubt because they mentioned they didn't really have a quarterback thing figured out, and they've lost a bunch of guys, on defense. But at the same time, I mean, there's some game management issues. I think owner Mark Davis wants to see some progress. So I think these last 3 games, it sounds silly, but they're pretty important. He needs to win at least one of them, I think, to have any chance of coming back.
So, in your estimation, if the season were to end today, would Antonio Pierce be back in 2025?
I think it's close, but I'd say at this point, no. I think he needs to win. So I think they need to show some kind of progress. And they've been in all these games, they've been competitive, but I think Mark Davis wants to see him win. It sounds stupid because fans want them to lose and tank and get the highest pick possible, but the owner wants them to actually win a game and show some progress.
That certainly sounds familiar. Fans wanting the team to lose and to tank. What do you think is the future for Gardner Minshew, also obviously a former Jaguar?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to be a backup next year. That's a possibility. But as far as being the mix of the starter, that won't happen here. So maybe he wants to go somewhere else. They can always cut him. But as far as his playing time here, it's pretty much come to an end.
When you look at the AFC West, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but the Chargers and the Broncos, both obviously 9-6. Which one are you more surprised at how their season's gone so far?
Oh, for sure, the Broncos. And they were in that huge hole after the Russell Wilson debacle, and they somehow came out pretty quickly. They got some nice young pieces on defense, and I was wrong about Bo Nix. Bo Nix is definitely better than I thought he was. So I think they've got some answers, and definitely they've been well coached, and the defense is playing pretty well.
Couple more for Vic Taffer of The Athletic here locally in Las Vegas on the Garber Auto Mall hotline. Vic, I would have to think to that point with Bo Nix and the Broncos rolling now even after a loss last night, but the Chargers certainly finding their footing under Jim Harbaugh and, of course, the two-time defending Super Bowl champions in the same division. I would think that has to factor in Mark Davis's decision moving forward. Right now, and I know we don't like to talk about draft, but the expectation would, of course, be that the Raiders will select a quarterback. Have you started looking at those two quarterbacks who are expected to be at the top of most draft boards?
Yeah, definitely. The fans kind of demand it. So I think Shedeur Sanders is interesting. I think he gets sacked way too much, but he's got not the great arm you want in a quarterback, but he definitely makes plays, and he's got some leadership skills. Kim Ward, same way. I think both those guys are probably not in the class of last year's quarterbacks, but they both have some upside. So if you're a Raiders fan, and really you got to embrace either one because they need someone to come in and be the franchise guy.
Yeah, it's almost a little disappointing, Vic, because neither of those guys are in the 12-team college football playoff, so you don't get to see what they can do against the best teams in all of college football.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think Sanders is playing in a bowl game. I'm not sure about Cam Boyd, but I know Sanders is. So we can watch that bowl game. And at this point, we've watched all the film all year long, so we have a pretty good idea. What do you think of the kids' upside?
Vic, we were having a conversation earlier in the show because obviously Jags are kind of in the same position of the season's been disappointing, and you do kind of feel like you're turning the page towards the draft at this point. But we were naming some names that you still some of these young guys, maybe the recent drafts or guys that got in free agency recently that you kind of want to see in these last few weeks to see if they can be a piece of the future for the team. Are there a couple names for the Raiders that we haven't named outside of a Brock Bowers that maybe we should keep an eye out on Sunday?
Yeah, these guys in the defensive line are filling in pretty well. They lost Max Crosby now, Malcolm Kuntz, and Christian Wilkins, pretty good players. And they're still getting pressure on the quarterback. So we mentioned Caleb Vaughn, but also Adam Butler's had a good year. Guys like John Jenkins has had a good year. It's just there's veteran guys who are playing with a lot of pride. They definitely want to win. They don't care about the draft pick next year.
Vic, as we get ready to say goodbye on the Garber Auto Mall hotline, a score prediction if you're allowed to make one, or at the very least, give us an idea of what we can expect at Allegiant Stadium between these two sides in your world of predictions on Sunday.
Yeah, I made one yesterday. I'm going to stick with it. I think both teams are pretty evenly matched. They both have a hard time scoring. So I'm going to go with a 20-20 tie.
I love that. I am here for that. I've been all about the scoregami of late. I love a tie. And we'd be remiss if we didn't ask, is there any, I know you're a local, you live here year-round, so maybe you would give us an off-the-beaten-path answer. Is there any place that for Jaguar fans, for the three of us, that while we're here in the desert, we absolutely have to go to blank?
Good question. I think there's a place called Domo. It's like a Korean barbecue place. I would check out Domo. It's a great spot.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, Vic, we really appreciate your time and look forward to the game on Sunday.
All right, guys. Take care. Have fun.
Thanks so much. You can find him on Twitter at Vic Taffer or at Just Win Podcast as well. Look, the juice that could be surrounding this game is obviously not the same as what's going to be, for instance, Texans-Chiefs on Sunday, right? And actually, that game is tomorrow.
I was going to say, does that game actually have juice,
That game is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I think it does because, yes, both teams are certainly in the postseason, but there's still
seeding at that point.
Yeah, but there's also still, I think, the idea that CJ Stroud wants to look at all he talked.
Hasn't his star lost a little bit of its luster?
It has. That's why I think the game. He wants to go into Kansas City. He wants to go into Arrowhead.
Are people rooting for him, though, nationally, as an underdog?
Well, here's the tricky part, though. Are they rooting for a banged-up Mahomes to just win again?
Yeah, I think there's
and there's a lot of people now, of course, with the whole Kelsey Swift thing.
JJ LaSelva is driving somewhere in Duval County right now, and he is saying, "Oh my God, why would you not root for Mahomes?" So there are people who do still root for Patrick and just the sheer generational talent that we are witnessing.
Yeah. Well, even like last night's game had a lot of juice, right? Broncos,
yeah, last
Chargers,
night's game was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, both of those teams had yet to clinch a playoff spot, and there is still a world in which they could not both potentially miss the postseason, but one of the two could. It's a very slim margin. The Bengals would have to win out. It's a weird situation with the Dolphins involved as well. So those two teams are still technically fighting for their playoff lives, even if their postseason odds are over 70%. We know a thing or two in Jacksonville, Florida, about having playoff odds over 70% and it not coming to fruition.
Yeah, Vic said he doesn't know how Duval travels. Oh, Duval will be at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
You'll hear
they'll
the
be
chants.
Duvaling.
They 100% will.
I think going back real quick to when we're looking at the overall picture of what the Jags are right now, and when you look at other teams, it is interesting to hear other people, like Vic was just saying, that he feels like they're pretty evenly matched. So it's always interesting to hear that opposite perspective, because obviously we were kind of like, well, we feel like better than them, because,
Right,
but then
the
they're
rosters-
probably looking and feeling the same way. Like, this team is...
Well, yeah, they've watched the secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more wins could the Jaguars have if they didn't have busted coverages in the secondary?
That's what
For
Ryan
crying out loud.
Ryan Nielsen, he's like, how do we prepare, like preparing different for Aiden O'Connell or Desmond Ritter? And I'm like, let's prepare. Let's start there, please.
Let's actually know our assignments, have good eye discipline, know who we're supposed to cover. So when we get to the college football playoff, on the other side, we certainly made our picks as far as Clemson and Texas are concerned. We will talk to CJ Vogle and talk all about the Longhorns team. That comes up next. You're listening to Helmets and Heels as we broadcast live from Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino, and it is a Sunshine Turf Friday. You can find their latest project on 1010XL's Instagram or online sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243. And reminder, we will be at the Overhang Bar here at Circa tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. But obviously, if you're in Vegas, you know it's Pacific time. And come hang out with us. The Heels huddle up, and there will be drink specials. You have a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jaguars Raiders and transportation as well. So it's going to be an absolute blast. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
This hour is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. There's a lot more to it than a tight spiral and an accurate pass.
Everyone agrees that playing quarterback is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Denny Thompson is the Quarterback Whisperer. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet. Friday mornings on The Drill.
Why buy from Hodges Mazda at the Avenues? Because they strive to ensure a satisfying and comfortable car buying experience. And now they're giving back. Lauren Brooks here. Hodges Mazda wants to say thank you to all educators, first responders, and healthcare providers by offering a complimentary oil change and car wash during the Mazda A Season to Move You event. Call today or schedule online at HodgesMazda.com. Come experience for yourself the Hodges Mazda difference. Free oil change not to exceed $79.99. Excludes diesel vehicles. This expires December 31st, 2024. See dealer for complete details.
Open enrollment is here, so it's time to secure health coverage for your family. Whether you need Affordable Care Act plans, dental, or Medicare, contact Florida First Insurance Group on University Boulevard, an award-winning Florida Blue agency well known for providing superior service. Theo Mitchelson and his team at Florida First make the process easy and stress-free with medical and dental insurance you can count on. Plus, listen to this. Based on eligibility, many people pay absolutely nothing for coverage. Contact Theo Mitchelson and the Florida First Insurance Group today and let your health be their priority. And a reminder for Florida Blue members, visit Sanitas Medical Center with 3 locations in town offering primary care, walk-in services, and on-site pharmacy and mental health support. SANITAS Medical Center, Florida First Insurance Group, and Sanitas Medical Center, a winning team in Northeast Florida.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sunny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
Pre-Game Friday, built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop. Here to let you know we're doing 20% off the entire store, now through Christmas. So unleash your gift-giving spirit, let your passion transmit. Do what we do and take it to the limit. Visit GothamCityLimit.com for more information.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Helmets and heels.
It's a Sunshine Turf Friday.
Ho, ho, ho! When I need gifts for special people, I go to Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. They have everything you need to make Christmas as special as they are. Find the finest in limited cigars, pipes and pipe tobacco, and the accessories that make life easier like humidors, cutters, and lighters. And don't forget Lampe Bergère fragrance lamps. So, take my advice and go to Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road, and make this Christmas one they'll remember.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Here's a special message from our president.
Thanks, David. This is Jordan Harrington, president of Royal Pest Services. We'd like to thank everyone who has trusted Royal Pest for their pest control needs this year. Wishing all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Royal Pest family.
I'm Frank Frangie. Join us Friday as our show goes live from Spring Sports Bar in Jacksonville Beach for a Gator Watch Party presented by Karis Wealth Planning. A free beer for anyone who donates to walk-off charities, compliments of Strings and Karis Wealth. So join us on Friday.
Hey folks, Dave Binion with Zero Res. I asked my wife what she wants for Christmas, and she said the same thing she does every year. She wants a clean home full of family and friends. That means the carpets, the tile and grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on all need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call and get your carpets cleaned for only $49 a room, and get your tile and grout cleaned for 25% off. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
It's a sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it.
It's Beard's Diamond's incredible 44th anniversary sale, held over till Christmas Eve. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels. If your car needs an oil change, now's the perfect time to visit Big Chief Tire. They're offering $10 off your next oil change at any of their 5 locations across Jacksonville. Their expert technicians will get you in and out quickly so your car stays in top shape. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Alrighty, we are back live here at Circa Resort and Casino at the Stadium Swim in Las Vegas with fantastic weather, fantastic views, fantastic people. I'm super excited. We are now going to talk some college football because the first ever 12-team college football playoff will start tonight as Notre Dame and Indiana play, or I guess this afternoon here, but I'm very nervous. But we're joined now by CJ Vogle. He is the college football insider and recruiting analyst covering the University of Texas for On Texas Football. CJ, thanks so much for joining us.
No, guys, thank you very much for having me on. Sounds like y'all are having a heck of a time out there in Las Vegas.
We are. We got here a little bit late, so our day is technically going to be starting right when the show's done. But before we get to this weekend's matchup and just some of the things going on at Texas in general, I want to go back to that Georgia-Texas game. A couple missed field goals away, CJ, from a win for Texas. So what were your thoughts on what went wrong in that game, and what do you think they've been addressing the most in this between these two games to get ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, obviously what went right was the defense. You hold Georgia to 6 points in the first quarter or first half, and, you know, really you start looking all the way throughout the last couple of games for Texas. You know, they've dominated first halves defensively. The question is, will you and can you rely on the offense to put up enough points? And there's been some stagnant offensive drives that have stalled out in the red zone. That's been an issue for the Longhorns, and whether you want to kind of direct blame at Steve Sarkisian, the offensive line, or Quinn Ewers, to me, it's all of the above, right? You don't run for more than 50 yards against Georgia. Quinn isn't quite as accurate in the red zone. We've seen that over the last 3 years, and too many negative plays, whether it be play calling or execution. Too many times Texas went backward when they had an opportunity to put points on the board, and you can't do that against teams like Georgia, and you can't do that against teams like you will face in the college football playoffs. So these last week and a half, 2 weeks since that game, the message has been this: clean up the penalties, clean up the holding, and find some sort of run game in the red zone, and you will find the end zone more than you have over the last couple of weeks.
CJ, I've got a ton of questions in terms of health of players, perhaps some X factors for the Longhorns in this matchup. But I want to begin with this. We already made our picks here on Helmets and Heels earlier in the program. You also made your official score prediction on X. You have it Texas 30, Clemson 17. We set it a 12.5-point line right now on MyBookie. That is a massive number, CJ. But you, like me, confident the Longhorns get this done. Why?
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize how close that was to the actual line. So if you can get the hook, take it anytime you can. No, I like Texas for a few reasons. Again, that defense is as good as any defense in the entire country, and I think that they'll come to play at home with that home crowd behind them once again. Texas has been very good against mobile quarterbacks under Pete Kwiatkowski. Look at Jalen Milroe. You look at Marcel Reed, Diego Pavia, Taylon Green, all the tests that they face with mobile quarterbacks and guys that utilize their legs a lot. They've passed with flying colors. I think that stands up again, especially when you consider the health of Phil Maffa and no Jay Haynes in that Clemson running game. It strikes me as a one-dimensional attack that Texas has been very good at in that secondary. So that's a reason why I do feel confidence in the Texas team in general. I think it starts with the defense. And, again, playing at home with that familiarity. It's going to be good weather in Austin on Saturday. It should be, and again, it should be, let me clarify that, reason to believe that the Longhorns get their mojo back in the run game and Quinn Ewers plays with familiarity at home.
By the way, CJ, I've nicknamed Bert Auburn the Perm because of that lovely head of hair that he has. And so when he was missing those kicks, it was like, come on, Perm! Because I'm a Florida grad, so I was rooting for Texas to beat Georgia, but alas. Let's get it to, Arch Manning. How much do we see of him? And what's the or address the rumors, please, for next year as far as Quinn Ewers and Arch and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'll start with how much we'll see of Arch on Saturday. Look, I truly don't know. And I say that because, we saw him for a handful of snaps against Texas A&M. He ran for a touchdown. He had a couple other snaps there. They forced a timeout when he trotted back onto the field of Texas A&M. And, that gave me reason to think that you would see an extended version of Arch Manning against Georgia, especially in that upper high red zone area that Texas lived in for most of that game against the Bulldogs, and yet you only saw Arch Manning on the field for 2 snaps. One of them was a 4th down in which he was under center, and the ball goes through his legs on a direct snap to the running back, which they converted. And then the other one was the first snap out of to begin overtime, and he picks up 5 yards. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, if this is the success that you're going to have with him on the field, why isn't there more of them? But that, again, kind of played to what I thought we'd see more of whenever Texas got into that high red zone area, and we just never saw it. So I don't know what the plan will be. I do know that Texas has to find some sort of remedy in that area, or their season will be over on Saturday. But, yeah, looking ahead to 2025, look, I expect Quinn Ewers to move on to the NFL draft. This will be Arch Manning's team next year. I have 100% confidence in saying that. But, yeah, I guess the decision really is just sitting around and kind of waiting for the official decision from Quinn Ewers.
CJ, when you were mentioning earlier getting that run game going and the importance of that, and I also pointing to just protecting Quinn. I know Georgia got to him 6 times in that game, so I think that's going to be a factor, especially with someone like TJ Parker coming. So how important do you actually think that is to give Quinn some time and kind of avoid, obviously, sacks, but also some of those mistakes that come out when he has to move around too much?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be huge. And look, Gunnar Helm wasn't a big part of the Texas offense against Georgia, and I think a lot of that kind of resided in the fact that he was used to kind of silence Mikael Williams. You know, Texas needed someone over there to bump, to chip, to make life a little bit more difficult for those Georgia edges, and as a result, you didn't see him in the passing game as you would have in normal, situations against other SEC teams. It's going to be very similar in my eyes against TJ Parker. Now, you may be able to shade a running back towards them, which frees up Gunnar Helm, but you're going to have some extra protection there, especially with Kelvin Banks, who might be a bit wobbly on one of his wheels. Cam Williams has been good this year. He's not been lights out like Kelvin Banks, so we'll see. But, yeah, I think Quinn, when given a clean pocket, you see how good he is, right? He's as good as anybody throwing with a clean pocket. If pressure comes and when pressure comes, that's when you sit there and say, okay, what kind of quarterback do we have? Can we limit mistakes? Can we get this guy rattled? Because that all has kind of left Texas up in the air in terms of what their offensive success looks like each game.
You can find him on X at CJ Vogle _OTF. That's not Orange Theory Fitness, folks. That is on Texas football. I'm sure you get that quite a bit, CJ. Great transition to Kelvin Banks. I'm curious, his health tomorrow, your expectations for him. Isaiah Bond considered a long shot to play because of a high ankle sprain. What's the health of the Longhorns?
Yeah, Quinn Ewers completely ready to go. No brace on his foot. Kelvin Banks was taking first-team snaps with the Longhorns as of Monday. Today, obviously, being Friday, I've heard of no setbacks. Things should be ready to go with Kelvin. Of course, I believe he will be donning one of those heavy support ankle braces that have been making the rounds on social media and game broadcasts for about a month now. And Isaiah Bond, again, still hobbled, right? You know, he didn't practice Monday or Tuesday, got back out there Wednesday and ramped it up a little bit on Thursday. Still, how much will he be able to go? I believe not very much. I don't think he's close to 100%. If Texas is going to trot out a starting group of wide receivers, I would not expect him to be in it.
It is fascinating that if this game is really close, the special teams really could be the deciding factor because that's how Clemson got here. Yeah. Certainly with that 56-yard kick by the true freshman.
And that's how Texas did not win.
And that's how Texas did not, exactly, get to the championship. So will be fascinating. Steve Sarkisian, what is his personality like? He has had such an interesting career, obviously. At one point in time was an assistant for Nick Saban and then certainly now the head coach at Texas.
I like Sark. I think Sark is as honest and humble, you know, kind of, I don't want to toot his horn too much, but he does come off very genuine, you know, whenever we speak to him in the media. I know that there was the clip of the Diego Pavia and the JUCO ruling that's been making his rounds. Look, I just think, having known Sark for a little while now, that he wasn't having the best day when he was meeting with the media on Thursday, and for whatever reason, you know, that kind of lashed out into, maybe a little bit of a snappiness, a little snippy, if you will. But no, I think he's very genuine when he speaks, and I think that resonates with his players and recruits to say, hey, you know, this is, you know, a program that he's been trying to build, and now is to the point where it feels sustainable. It doesn't feel like there's anything, you know, at least in my perception, kind of, you know, fugazi or kind of he's trying to pull a fast one on you.
All right, CJ. Well, as we wrap it up here with you, I do want to ask you one final one real quick, because I feel like as the college football rankings were coming out and people were saying who should be in, shouldn't be in, and there was a lot of arguments on strength of schedule and all of that, Texas being mentioned in that, what would be your words to people who kind of criticized the schedule and where Texas ended up at?
Yeah, my thing, and this, you can definitely rope Indiana into this as well. And here's my thing with strength of schedule. You know, it's one thing to argue teams haven't played very tough teams throughout the season. Sure, that's fair. Texas got a very favorable schedule from the SEC. Indiana as well from the Big Ten. But when you look at the way that they're winning games, the way in which teams that they're beating are beating other teams, it's not close. They're not winning close games. You know, they're not on the brink of an upset, you know, and you could look at the 3-point win on the road at Vanderbilt. Look, they were roughing the passer away from a 17-point victory because that play took away a pick six. Indiana beat Nebraska, which beat Colorado, right? You know, they beat them by 40. They beat teams by 40 and 50 throughout the entire season. Texas beat Florida, who ended up beating a number of teams in the college football playoff, 49-17, right? You know, some of these games, and I know that the transitive property doesn't always amount to much, but at no point was Texas ever really facing in second halves of football games. It always felt like they were in control, and I would argue the same thing for Indiana. You know, and that's the reason for me that, yeah, their schedules have been easy, but look, we watched Alabama lose to Oklahoma. We watched Alabama lose to Vanderbilt. Ole Miss lost to Kentucky. You know, losses happen in college football. They took care of their business.
Yeah, I am a Notre Dame fan, and I've been having to try and find a way to defend a Northern Illinois loss and an easy schedule, so that's been a rough one for me. But, CJ, again, we really appreciate it. You guys can check him out if you're listening, CJ Vogle _OTF on Twitter, covers Texas football for On Texas Football. I really appreciate you, CJ, and I hope you have a good weekend. I personally am rooting for Texas, so good luck.
Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you having me on, and happy Friday.
Awesome insight. Thanks, CJ.
Yeah. All right is all I have to say to him because, of course, the Matthew McConaughey connection. Yeah, good stuff there on Texas. He feels confident. Mia's confident.
Yeah.
And
well, especially after hearing from CJ and
Sure.
like literally seeing a 30-17 prediction from someone who covers that team.
Right.
Ultimately, I also come back to this. Was that ACC championship, was this improbable run to the playoff, was that Dabo Swinney's Super Bowl? He's already looking at the transfer portal. Round of applause, by the way, RJ, back at 1010XL World Headquarters.
He's looking at the transfer portal.
He brought in a Power 4 transfer this week,
did
ladies. It happened. It took 5+ years, but Dabo Swinney brought in a transfer from Purdue. It has happened. He's on to bigger and better things. It's gravy from here on out as the 12 seed. That's why the 12.5-point spread will be covered.
It's going to be fun. We've got it starting tonight, like we said, and really before that, Florida takes on Tulane in the Gasparilla Bowl. You can hear that on 10:10 a.m. And, of course, there's a watch party at Strings at the Beach right there on Penman Road in Jack's Beach. Very familiar, obviously, with that location right down the street from our house. And there will be a fun watch party there, so go visit Frank and Hayes and watch the Gators play Tulane. We are live here at Stadium Swim at the world's largest hot tub party, Circa Resort and Casino. Absolutely gorgeous day. We really appreciate our friends here for having us. And we have one more segment to go live from the, and by the way, tonight we'll be live from the Overhang Bar, hanging out with the Heels Huddle Up as well. It's Helmets and Heels on a Sunshine Turf Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This hour of Helmets and Heels is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island is excited to announce an all-new happy hour, 7 days a week. You heard right. Every day from 3 until 6 p.m. and again from 9 until close. Barley and Pie has deals you can't resist. 2-for-1 clay lights, 2-for-1 house wines, and much more. Experience the all-new happy hour at Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island.
Mia here for my friends at Projax Roofing. Winter is coming. If your roof took on any damage at all during hurricane season or any other time this year, know that Projax Roofing is here to help. Get it done now before those cold winter months. From the smallest of repairs to full roof replacements, my friend Mike has been serving all of Northeast Florida for 25 years. Again, any help with your roof at all, call Projax Roofing at 904-338-1722 or visit them online at projaxroofingfl.com.
grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Mia here, and when I was buying a new construction home last summer, there was no question, folks. Dreamfinders Homes was the builder for me. A big reason why, they're unbeatable interest rates. And right now, you can ring in the new year with an even more amazing offer than I got. A 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now is your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. I'll say it again. 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershome.com for more details.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Sunshine Turf Friday.
While other books make promises, MyBookie delivers. This holiday season, they're stacking the deck in your favor with 12 days of Christmas. Now through the 31st, a festival lineup of can't-miss opportunities for bettors to cash in on. Risk-free Thursdays, super boosts, free bets, weekly casino giveaways with hundreds of winners and thousands in cash prizes. All it takes is a 50-cent spin on BetSoft slots to enter. With the road to New Orleans, bowl games galore, and a Christmas Day sports feast featuring NFL and an NBA doubleheader, this is your season to win. The 12 Days of Christmas event is live right now. Don't wait. Use promo code 1010XL with your first deposit, and MyBookie will give you a little extra start to your holiday. MyBookie is offering a 50% deposit bonus for 1010XL listeners just for signing up and using promo code 1010XL. There's a reason MyBookie has been the go-to for serious bettors for 10 years. Whether it's UFC, NFL, college ball, or casino, bet and win with confidence. Make your holiday season a jolly one with MyBookie.
There's still time to grab a mouth-watering holiday roast at Southern Steer Butcher in Ortega. Come for the roast and leave a hero with last-minute gift cards for the whole fam.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Now, any good lineup needs power. When I needed a power connection for our new Walk-Off Charities baseball park, I found the perfect partner in Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys, I'm telling you. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. So call my buddy Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960, and you can find them on Facebook as well. You will trust them. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 320-5960.
Get wet with Captain Kevin. Whoa. And remember to bring your net on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Look at them.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club is an attractive destination for golfers all over the Southeast. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that will test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time at hiddenhillsgc.com.
Icebreakers Bar and Grill in the Community First Igloo is the coolest place in town for lunch and dinner. Watch the game with a wide selection of local beers, cocktails, wings, burgers, ribs, and more. Enjoy with family and friends at Emerson and I-95.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Varra here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Frank Frangie here for Karis Wealth Planning. If you're looking for a company to truly help you make your money work for you, why not try a group who's been doing it successfully for almost a quarter of a century? Karis will truly bring together all the pieces of your financial world and develop a comprehensive plan to really help you secure your future. So call Karis today at 904-598-3585 or log on to Karis, that's KERAS.nm.com.
Make your money work for you with Karis Wealth Planning.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Sitting at 3-11 and eliminated from playoff contention, Doug Peterson was asked if it's difficult to keep the team focused on winning when it seems they don't have much to play for at this point in the season.
It becomes a challenge, but I'll tell you, I haven't seen it yet, any sort of disconnect, and obviously that falls on my shoulders, right, to make sure that doesn't happen and just continue to lean on the guys, the leadership guys. And we got 3 games, we got 3 games left. You want to be able to go out and play well and win these 3 games and give yourself a chance each Sunday, but I haven't seen that yet, and that's positive for the guys in the locker.
The Jaguars get set to head out west to take on the Raiders this Sunday, who also have struggles of their own. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
I'll kick us off by saying this. We appreciate all of you back in Duval County and beyond interacting with us from all over the world at the MyBookie Digital Studio on YouTube, as well as the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures while we are here live in Las Vegas. A special shout out to someone who I affectionately refer to as the Grammar Police on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We love you out in the 864.
Yeah.
No, apparently, and the Heeligan says, and this is a Heeligan, not a hillbilly. I want to make sure Heelbilly. I want to make sure. Well, now he's going to get mad at me because now I mispronounced it. So, this is someone who is looking out in my best interest. Titans.
Oh, the T's.
Titans.
I do it too.
Yes. Apparently, all those years of vocal lessons have not evaded me from sounding like, quote, a 16-year-old New Jersey child. So, Titans.
I know. I
Titans.
can't say it either.
Yes.
It sounds weird saying it like that. I also, certain words just don't have, I have to really think about saying mountain because I want to just say mountain.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I don't say the T's in a lot of words.
Well, as I explained to the Heeligan, there is a difference when I am speaking, doing an advertisement, or if I am speaking on a television set versus having a conversation with my co-host in a setting in which I'm trying to come off as conversational. I digress. We love you out there in the 864. Hopefully we are titans of radio in your minds. I'll also
tighten it up.
I will also cool down with this. With 3 days left to vote in the Pro Bowl games, Tom Pelissero revealed the players that are leading at each of their positions. Did you see my tweet yet?
I did not. I saw Saquon. I did not see your tweet. I saw Saquon's leading all the votes.
He's leading everyone.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
How many Jacksonville Jaguars do you think are in the top 10 of each of their respective positions?
3.
I would guess
4. Oh, in the top 10. Because I feel like you'd have to put. I personally would put Josh Hines, Allen, Trayvon, and BTJ personally.
Trayvon Walker is the only one of those 3 currently in the top 10 at his position.
Look, it's no surprise.
Logan Cook, though, is also in the top 10, so 2 Jaguars total.
Yeah, I'm going to cool down with the fact that Circa is amazing, and we haven't even gotten really to explore yet, but we're just here at a cabana at Stadium Swim, and it's incredible. And, oh, by the way, the Jaguars play here next year as well. So go ahead and start making your plans for next year to come here to Circa. And while, like I said, this game doesn't have the same implications, certainly there's no playoff implications for the Jaguars and the Raiders.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I have to say? It's still football season. Yeah. You only get 17 of these. So enjoy every second that is football. Obviously, the college football playoff is going to be fascinating, and we have NFL football tomorrow as well. But enjoy every second you get to see your Jacksonville Jaguars play, because non-football season lasts, it feels like, so
forever.
Long.
Yeah, and especially I feel like we've just had these off seasons where it's ones where you're talking about the draft so much, and you're talking about how many holes you can fill, and you're talking about coaching changes, and you're talking about possible GM changes. And so I know that once you get into the season, there's so much excited. Like, you're so excited to finally get there. And then a season like this happens, and one where we really were expecting it to be a lot different. And we thought, in general, honestly, that the AFC South would be a lot more competitive from top
across
to
the board.
Yeah,
Across the board.
It was honestly disappointment through the division.
Certainly.
Because we thought it was going to be one of the more fun divisions to watch.
Well, thankfully, our next guest, I'm told, roots for a team that is a winner in the Detroit Lions. I don't know if we really want to bring a Lions fan, though, on the broadcast.
No, we need to know how to fix this thing.
That's true. We do need more Lions fans. We need to know about Ben Johnson. We need to know about the Detroit Lions.
Derek Stevens joins us, the owner of Circa. Thank you so much.
God, welcome to Las
This is
Vegas.
incredible.
You smell great, by the way.
Wow, thank
This
you.
whole room smells good.
Thank you for bringing sunny Florida to Las Vegas. How great is this? It's going to be like 70 and sunny out today.
I
Not a
just took
cloud
the
in the sky.
sweatshirt off. We got the bathing suits. We're ready to go at Stadium
It
Swim.
really is amazing. I think we could literally take the heat out of the pools, and we don't even need the hot tubs.
Yeah. Actually, the reason why they're so warm is because there are so many people that come out at night. It gets a little chilly out here in the desert at night.
Yes, for sure.
But that's how you keep yourself warm, by jumping in these hot tubs.
Derek, what was the inspiration for Stadium Swim for Circa? Like, I need to know the genesis of this entire operation. And mind you, our friends at VEASAN are also headquartered here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The whole premise behind this is my wife enjoyed going out to day clubs and listening to music. I love listening to EDM. We used to go to a lot of day clubs, but I bet on every game. And no matter if you have a cabana,
so you wanted to do both.
You get one television.
Yeah.
You know what's that supposed to do for me on a Sunday when I got 10 games going? So one day, like 10 years before this was ever concepted, we thought, if I ever have a chance to build a pool in Las Vegas, I'm going to make it the biggest one ever. I'm going to make it a screen that I can see, not this little mini screen where you can barely see.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking as I get older, I want to make sure it's big enough I don't have to look at it with glasses on. So we went Vegas style, 143-foot screen out here.
It's amazing.
Perfect brightness no matter the time of day or if there's
That really
direct
is
sunlight.
incredible.
And we built basically this outdoor. Once we designed it, we decided we're never going to use the word pool again.
Okay.
That word is not allowed. So we had to come up with a new word. So we call this our outdoor sports aqua theater.
Oh, love it.
Aqua theater.
It's where we do all of our watch parties and where you can jump in. There's always cocktail servers, lots of drinks available, and you got all the in-game, you got all the betting lines. So hopefully you've already downloaded it on your app. But if not, we've got kiosks over here for people to make plays and all that and enjoy Vegas.
I mean, it's definitely something for everyone. My view tech is right above this, so I opened my blinds and I was like, I could watch the games from my room technically and see the screen perfectly. But we
How's that for a good morning?
Oh my gosh! I don't know if I would sleep if I lived here. To be honest, I'm not sure.
That's why it's the city that never sleeps. Truly,
Well,
no offense to New York.
I remember one of the things that was really important about us trying to do something to invite all the Jacksonville fans out is because this is not a one and done. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville is coming to Las Vegas to play the Raiders again next year. It's already locked in, so that's why we wanted to do this to invite everybody. I know it's right before holidays and things like that, but we wanted to do this to kind of set up for a better 2025.
And certainly all of Jacksonville is hoping that the season next year is back in the playoffs, that they have the quarterback, right? Well, some people don't believe that, but that's a whole nother story. We don't even have time to get into all that, Derek. But as far as this entire property, there's restaurants here. There's all sorts of different machines that people can play to gamble. There literally is everything's on property. You don't even have to leave.
Well, that's kind of how we designed it, so that's awesome. I appreciate you saying that. No, we love having our visitors from out of state that are sports fans. I mean, we're clearly the most sports-oriented casino resort in Vegas, and
you're the reason why.
And we, whenever we have visitors coming in from out of town they're rooting on their team playing the Raiders, we always want to help celebrate and make sure that everybody knows we're the home for the road team.
I love it.
And you're going to be partying with us tonight at the Overhang Bar.
At the Overhang, huddle up. There we go.
Yes, huddle up with the heels. People can RSVP online. Drink specials. There's going to be one specialty Duval cocktail, I'm told. So that's exciting as well.
I led with it, so I do have to ask before we let you go, Derek.
Ben Johnson, we got to talk about it.
Oh, man.
He doesn't want to give him up. He doesn't want to give him up.
Until last year, my Lions won one playoff game in my lifetime. in my parents'
Say that again.
lifetime.
Say that again, Derek.
One playoff game in my lifetime. They beat the Cowboys in like 93. One single playoff game. Now we got a good OC. Come on, back off, ladies. I had to do a Chicago interview yesterday called back off, guys.
Yeah,
Come on, let the Lions. We got to make it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
We
you're like,
just
let us
gotta
get there. Well, if you win this year, then you got it, and you're good.
Yeah, I'll tell you, what.
But those injuries, though, that's
That's devastating. We thought last year was the year, and then this year, boy, I don't remember a team that's ever gotten beaten up this bad with key defensive and
but then
offensive
continues to win. And I think that is the real question that folks back in Duval have. It's that culture, it's the system, and the ecosystem that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have built.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way you never punt. You just go for it on fourth down, no
Yeah.
matter what, which drives a lot
It's
of
like
people
fourth
crazy.
and 9, do it.
On your own 18, why not?
Go for it.
Why
not? Yeah, the analytics can sometimes be terrible. But that's pretty much going to do it for us today. So, Derek, we really appreciate you having us.
Yeah, this was
literally can't thank you
fantastic.
enough. And a reminder for everyone tonight, if you're in Vegas, 7 to 9 p.m. at the Overhang Bar here at Circa, a chance to win a pair of tickets to the game on Sunday, Jags Raiders, as well as transportation to and from the game. So that's a huge thing. So come hang out with us tonight. We really appreciate our friends here at Circa. We really appreciate our engineer, Mateo, and RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. For Mia O'Brien, for Taylor Dahl, I'm Lauren Brooks. Don't go anywhere. XL Primetime comes up next. It has been a Helmets and Heels Sunshine Turf Friday.